If you ever want to make guacamole but you weren't sure how to pick a good avocado, well, I'm going to show you how today. I'm Connie from Baby to Boomer, and I'm going to show you what to do when you send your husband to the store and he comes home with avocados that look like these. Now, I am a vegetarian, but I don't eat avocados very often, but even I know there's a big difference between these two. So the way that you pick out an avocado is you actually have to feel it. It's not one of those fruits or vegetables that you have to smell or thump or any of that. What you have to do is you have to feel it. The black, almost greenish black, brownish is going to be the most ripe. If you touch it, it's going to just barely give a little bit in the surface. If you can push your thumb into the skin, it's much too ripe. Leave it at the store. So this one is perfect. It's got a little bit of give. It looks nice. So we're going to use this one in our guacamole. This one, it's getting to the ripe stage, but it's not fully ripe. It's hard. It doesn't give to the touch at all. So this avocado is going to need a little more ripening. The easiest way to do that is to put it in a plastic or paper bag. The type of bag doesn't matter. It's more important that you can seal it off from the air because you want the avocado to release its gases and start ripening itself faster, and that's the purpose of the bag. So make sure the bag is sealed and then roll the bag down around it. If you want to ripen it even faster, you can place a banana in the bag with it, or a tomato, any fruit or vegetable like that, and it will also ripen it a little bit faster for you. Instead of from 1 to 5 days, it would be from 1 to 3 days. I should have mentioned, if this one had been ripe but I wasn't going to use it today, the way to preserve it for another day or to make it last longer is to put it in the refrigerator. The refrigerator will slow the ripening process down. So this one is much too hard, much too green, not nearly ripe enough. This one would benefit from the bag and banana method. Obviously, it's going to ripen slower than the other one. But you can put them in the bag together. Check it every day. The bag needs to stay in a cool, dry place, so on a kitchen counter or someplace where it's out of way of being bumped and whatnot, and just check it every day. Pull out the one when it's ripe and then leave the other one in. So that's the art of choosing the right avocado, and for most people that's probably the most daunting part of making your own guacamole. I'm going to make a third of a recipe of the Rotell's diced tomato and green chili guacamole. That's because I'm actually going to serve it at 3 different times. So I'm actually going to make this one today. I'm going to make guacamole with this one in about 4 days, and then while we're on vacation I'm taking this one with us and I'll make it again while we're on vacation. So that's how easy it is to make. So now that we have our ripe avocado, we're going to take the pit out, and that's just sliced down into the center until you fill the pit, and then just slice around, run your knife around the pit, give it a little wiggle, and there you go. So a spoon works pretty well to get out the rest of the pit. Now the pits are kind of fun. As a kid we used to, well, and that can happen. Watch out where your pit goes. As kids we used to try and regrow them. We don't live in an area where avocados can grow, but it was fun as kids to go ahead and try. So now you can either cube out your avocado, or I just scoop it out because we're gonna mash this up, it won't matter. So just scoop it out. And for fun, you can serve the guacamole in your avocado half. Now I've got all that great flesh of the avocado out, and yes, you want to scrape the nice greener part. You do want the two-tone avocado. You're leaving behind just this outside leathery shell. And there you go, there's your avocado. So we're going to mash that up and add some more ingredients to it. The recipe I'm making today is the Rockin guacamole. It's on the back of the Rotell Original diced tomatoes with green chilies. And it's pretty simple. Like I said, you use 3 ripe avocados, 1 can of these Rockin original diced tomatoes and green chilies. I drained them. And then a tablespoon of lime juice and a half a teaspoon of salt, ground pepper, and a half a cup of chopped onions. So I'm gonna 1/3 everything. So I have 1 ripe avocado. I'm going to put in 1/3 of the can of the Rockin diced tomatoes. I'm going to put in about 1/8 of a cup of chopped onions and about a teaspoon of lime juice. I put about a teaspoon of fresh lime juice in with the avocado, and now I'm just mashing it around a little bit, getting that lime juice to coat it pretty well. So I'm going to add in my 1/8 of a cup of diced onions, and then I'm going to add 1/3 of the can of diced tomatoes. It's all by eye, it's not exact measurements. This will turn out fantastic either way. The thing I need to do is add a little salt and a little pepper to taste. So I just give it a little mash by hand. Guacamole doesn't take very long. If you've ever had it made tableside, you'll realize it's pretty darn simple. So I like my guacamole to have little chunks of avocado left in it, so I'm not going to mush it up too much. That's just about right. Now's a great time to taste it to make sure you have enough salt and pepper in it, and add more if you need. Then just get a container the size that you need. Scoop it in. You can use some of the reserved tomatoes if you like, but I think this one looks pretty darn good just the way it is. And then I have a small plate of chips here. I'm going to set that down in the middle. Get rid of that. And I happen to have some cilantro in the refrigerator. Cilantro is a great herb to use for highlighting any of your Mexican flavors. It doesn't need much. Just to serve it with your favorite beverage, I recommend these Lime-A-Ritas. They're margaritas in a can, ready to go. Just stick your straw in and you're done. So this is our little snack for tonight. My hubby will be home soon. And we're gonna have chips, guacamole, and Lime-A-Ritas.